Yeah, this one's been brewing for a little while. You know, we saw Mitchell get that win back in Huntington in October, and Erik was on commentary, and not long after the end of that match, they had Erik come in the ring and had some jawing going back and forth, and it's been continuing on social media, and I think it's going to be a really exciting fight.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch. They've done a good job of keeping it professional, but they've made it clear that they're not big fans of each other, and they're looking forward to getting to try to hurt each other in this cage.
Now, you got Mitchel Vaughn coming out to one of the classic walkout songs, Many Men by 50 Cent. It's one of those songs you got to go hard if you're going to walk out to that one.
Everybody's got a different strategy for the walkout song. I always pick something kind of slow. Try to see if I can pull my opponent out of their game a little bit. If I get some Townes Van Zandt, or like tonight I had the classical Spanish guitar.
Snake song, Townes Van Zandt was always one of my dream walkout songs.
Yeah, that's a good one. I always liked Lungs. I've used that 3 or 4 fights now.
I remember you walking out to Lungs, and I was a big fan. I mentioned it. I hope you know that.
Oh, I did. I heard it on the commentary. Butch had never heard of it. That made me a little bit sad.
It made me sad. Mitchel Vaughn and Erik Coon, maybe the biggest grudge match we've ever had at New Line.
That's what we were just talking about.
And it's an interesting stylistic matchup, too.
These guys legitimately hate each other. Like, it's not fake. It's not something they're just doing for the publicity. They don't like each other. They've made it clear. And now it's time to finally settle the score. This has been months we've been waiting for this.
And as a former fighter myself, I appreciate whenever there's some dislike between fighters and it's real, right? I'm not a big fan of whenever people pretend they dislike each other to have some drama to drum up a fight, but these boys genuinely seem to dislike each other. Actually, I appreciate that.
I don't really know why. I don't know how it developed. I know there was the rivalry between Stephen McGrew and Mitchel Vaughn. Stephen McGrew beats him. They talk about a rematch, and then Stephen McGrew tragically passes away.
One of the nicest guys in the area, too.
Absolutely.
What a shame.
And so much talent.
Yep.
You know, it's hard to talk about this fight without talking a little bit about Stephen McGrew.
And I actually had originally met Stephen way back in 2017 or 18 when I was fighting in Manassas, Virginia. I was like, oh, who's the other guy from West Virginia? And it was Stephen McGrew. He was younger. He had a lot of life experience between then and his last run.
And you see Erik Coon comes into the cage as his friend, as the guy who wants to finish that story, finish that rivalry. That's what ignited it all, I think. I don't think there was any bad blood until then. He stepped in almost in Stephen's place and said, I want this fight now. And Erik Coon, he's competed in karate combat.
All right, and as we get back to the action for this match, this will be a catchweight. MMA, 130 pounds.
Those of these guys looking
3
really
rounds,
great shape.
I was just
3
well,
minutes.
especially Erik.
We have, out of the blue corner, representing Tartarus MMA out of Ashland, Kentucky, Money Mitchel Vaughn. His opponent, out of the red corner, representing Hurricane, West Virginia, Category 5 Jiu-Jitsu, making his MMA debut, Erik the Coon.
I don't know why, but I'm getting Dominic Cruz vibes from Erik Coon right now.
He's got the right fade.
Yeah.
They have the same stylist.
And we'll see some interesting footwork from him, I'd imagine, probably as we do.
Well, he's a very high-level karate athlete. And you see, though, Mitchel Vaughn comes out of the gate with his own high kick. And we saw Mitchel Vaughn win his last fight with a beautiful liver kick.
And that was a good front kick, toes up to the body. A little bit different than the traditional tie.
Oh, big right hook, and it looked like it rocked Mitchel Vaughn a little bit. His eyes got wide there.
Mitch went for that Superman punch, and he was caught.
Oh, and he's hurting him there, and there goes the wrestling. Let's see if he can bring him to the mat, and he does.
Mitch is very heavy on his top game.
And this is where I expected this fight to take place if it went Mitchel Vaughn's way.
We've got a good battle here where Erik's starting to work up to his feet and try to wall walk. It looks like he's going to be able to stand.
Oh, Mitch with some big right hands.
Erik's got the guillotine, but it looks like he's going to lose it. Yeah, beautiful job by Mitchel Vaughn, taking him down, falling through the side control. He could Von Flu choke him here if he's not careful.
And Erik wisely lets go and starts going in for Kimura from half guard.
Which is not a bad spot to go for it unless you get re-armbarred or re-Kimura'd.
Exactly. Especially if he's able to kick out to that T Kimura position and start to take the back.
You just have to be wise to it.
Yep. And I know that's a position that Jim and Hurricane is well developed in.
Which I love the Kimura from half guard. I landed a lot. You got to be careful. It's a weird position. The guy on top can do some stuff to you, which he should grab his own hand right now and re-Kimura.
And instead, he's trying to punch the body on that far side and post on the mat.
He's just hiding that hand. He's trying to hide that hand and bank. His hip pressure is not enough.
And it's almost out away from the body.
This is bad news.
Using
for
it to set up a triangle now, it looks like, as he throws that leg up. Maybe not. Nope, back to the Kimura.
This is bad news for Mitchel Vaughn if he doesn't do something about it.
And now he's got that shin across the belly, playing Z-guard on the far side.
Erik Coon lets it go.
Good job by Coon.
And now he's going to go for a leg lock.
Knee bar, and it looks fairly good. What do you think, Colin? No.
Oh, man. Look at these scrambles, boys. I love it.
Mitchell's able to keep him on his back, though. Now he's got to fight off this triangle attempt. He's got to get some posture out of there.
I know that.
He's got the hand inside. He's okay.
But now he's got that straight arm lock.
It's going to be the arm bar.
He's in bad
He's not going to be able to tap.
He's got to be able to get that over the hip.
Bad news for Mitchel Vaughn. He's going to step over the head. He should be okay.
It looks like he's lost the angle now. He's just going to come back up on top.
He's in a dangerous spot, though. Erik Coon's got an active guard.
Erik is doing a good job of making it an uncomfortable place for him to be on top.
Which, for a karate guy, that's exactly what you need.
Yep.
But he's passed now. Let's see if he can settle in here.
Full stack pass position here, if he can keep it. Pull it in. He's going to
drag him to turtle.
God.
Yeah. Smart move. But Erik does a good job, just like you did with Hunter Jones earlier, just rolling right back through the guard.
Oh, and he uses it to pass.
Now he looks settled a little more.
Exactly. He's on relatively short time, but he is in a good position. He's got 10 seconds to work.
I think you have to give this round, I don't know. It's very close, because Coon was so active off his back.
Coon was so active off his back, and he had that Kimura grip, but he was never able to get it out away from his body. So
I think judges are going to see this one for Mitchel Vaughn.
I would have to agree.
I would agree. Close round, but yeah, you see that high-level jiu-jitsu training that he's got, right? Their black belt is coming into the cage right now, Wes. I know he's primarily a jiu-jitsu coach. Luke Lago actually came to us with a blue belt from him and speaks very highly of their jiu-jitsu. And I know that in the other corner we've got Tartarus, which is also a very skilled jiu-jitsu school.
It's got to be
round number 2, Camber Newsom.
Exactly.
Everybody say hello to Camber
Throw
Newsom.
you off a little bit.
Yeah.
How you doing, Camber?
And we see he's not in the corner there. Oh, yeah, he is.
He's on the outside.
He's in the side with a sling.
He's got a sling on his arm. Zach Wild's not going to miss this fight.
Zach is a man's man.
Yeah.
I've grappled with him. I can tell you he's a strong fella, and I was definitely not trying to see if I could get to his back and suplex him like that. Whoever the fella that rolled with him today was, that's a strong boy.
I think he's a certified hoss.
Really see Wes in the corner of Erik Coon, getting him cooled down, getting him some water, giving him some good reasons, advice. So be interesting to see in this next round if Mitchell can take him down again, and if he can settle and actually do some damage on top instead of just defending submissions.
Yeah, Erik Coon has to stop the takedown this round. He was hurting him every time he was throwing combos on the feet. His hands were fast.
He's got that range on Mitch. The problem is Mitch is truly a 125er if he can get his weight down right.
It took about 30 seconds for Mitchel Vaughn to decide
Erik
he didn't want the part of the striking.
Natural 45er, I would have to say.
And we saw Mitchel Vaughn early on in that first round start trying to flick the outside leg kick with his lead left leg. Very difficult to actually do some damage, but you can tell that's something he's trying to work on with that karate stance, right? That's one of the classic things. When somebody stands more sideways, you try to get in behind that IT band and quad. But he wasn't having much success within the first round. We'll see if he can go back to that strategy again.
Erik Coon's got to be very confident in his hands right now.
I think that, honestly, though, the takedown is kind of stifled a little bit. It's kind of got Erik second-guessing some of these shots, I think.
I don't know. He's just being smart. He's sitting back. He knows it's coming, so he's going to defend it, and there he does a great job getting double unders. And he's going to walk into the fence, and he should just push away now.
In my opinion, he should, but he feels comfortable here with this underhook. We'll see if he can use that underhook and head pressure and keep him up.
I know that Eric's been training a lot of grappling. He's, like you say, he's got an excellent jiu-jitsu coach himself. We saw him off his back. He looks fantastic. I don't think he's afraid at all to even wrestle with
No, I don't think so either.
You see Mitchel Vaughn here, though, is comfy to keep that shin across, that shin whizzer across the center, grabbing that butterfly hook kind of on the outside with his shin. He's able to keep the trips away from there. He's forcing him. If Erik wants to take him down, he's going to have to try to drop down an ankle pick.
I would really, really like to see Erik just make some space and start working with his hands, because he's had so much success with his striking so far.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I would say, just from experience of training with Mitch, he's deceptively strong for his size. Like, I would be willing to bet that Erik is probably surprised by his strength.
I would agree.
Not trying to, talk up Mitch because I trained with him or anything, but he is deceptively strong for his size.
Well, we've seen Mitch as a guy, we couldn't find him a fight for about 2 years. Yeah. He was a guy people did not want to fight. Erik's been gunning for him.
Yep.
So it just shows what a competitor Erik Coon is.
The other interesting thing here is that Mitchell's doing a very good job defending this takedown. I wonder who's tiring faster, right? I mean, he's a more seasoned grappler. He's got his back up against the cage. He's letting that cage carry his weight.
He's resting, yeah. He can rest
I was
here.
Say,
Erik Coon's doing all the work right now.
He's leaning. He's trying to work on the takedown. Mitch is just content to kind of let him tire himself, I believe. Erik's doing a good job, though, of not really giving Mitch any room to...
There we go. He starts digging for that neck.
Yep, he's turned that whizzer into an arm in guillotine type position.
Digs for the underhook now. Beautiful counter wrestling from Mitchel Vaughn. I think it's time for Erik Coon to bail and start striking.
I would agree. I think the more time he spends here, the worse it is for him. Although he's winning these exchanges, but...
he's playing Mitchel Vaughn's game.
Exactly. Crowd's getting a little restless here, but, I mean, this is very much so a position to allow work.
Erik's in a really good spot to drag his legs out from under him now.
He tried, didn't he?
Mitchel Vaughn does a good job recovering, and he's caught.
He used that underhook, and then
he sure did. It's a standing guillotine here, boys.
Into a 10-finger guillotine.
He's deep under the neck. He's got him trapped against the cage. This is bad news from Erik Coon.
He's trying to rotate to get that high-risk position.
He is.
Whoa, and there's the bell. And you see Erik Coon took a big breath.
That's another really close round there. So, I mean, kind of.
I believe that round, in my opinion, goes to Erik. He was able to keep him pressed up against the cage, but
until
he
the
wasn't
final
able to do.
Moment
he wasn't able to do much damage. So
the final moment of that fight, that round got interesting, because I do think he was deep under the neck.
That was deep.
Just judge him by the way Erik reacted when he let go.
His shoulder started to go down. Yep. This is an interesting third round. I believe we're tied at 1 apiece here.
Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be really close. I mean, to be honest, I was going to say I could see him swinging either way. To be honest,
I think Erik needs to go back to the well, use his hands, stay away from the grappling. He did a perfect job getting the double unders. He just shouldn't have. Once he got into the cage, he should have backed off.
It's very difficult on a guy who's got heavy hips to try to finish that lock double. And you got to have really good, well-developed ashiwaza, be able to switch to the inside and outside trips there.
How hard is it to give up that position against the cage, though? Because you know you're winning there. You know you're doing well there.
And that's an interesting position where the guy that has the underhooks on the break is actually at a deficit whenever they're starting to throw punches on the break, right? So I think he might have been worried that Mitchell was going to try to crack him, get a collar tie on the break. Very interesting third round.
It's a good fight. Damn good fight. I knew it would be.
We've still not seen, Erik Coon said he's going to be looking for the question mark kick a lot.
We haven't seen it, have we?
We've not seen it yet, and I think it's because he's worried about that takedown.
Yeah, I agree.
The most success he's had have been with his hands, with his boxing. That's what I'd like to see more from Erik Coon.
I think now we're going to see maybe a little bit of desperation. Not necessarily desperation, but they're going to need to step on the gas a little bit and kind of pull the fight away from the other guy. Nice one, too.
Good straight left hand from Erik.
Oh. I expect there's
the question mark kick.
But
now we've got
Mitchell looking in a shot here, and he might get it.
He's trying to finish with that Kosoto hook finish on the single leg.
He's got to just run the pipe.
Either that or he can now start to reach down for an ankle.
Erik's doing a good job of defending here.
Got the locked hands.
Good job by Erik Coon. And he gets dumped.
Big slam from Mitchel Vaughn.
Huge right now.
Erik Coon's still holding on to that guillotine.
He needs to go for the Vaughn flu choke. Wrap his head up.
Toes in the fence, ref.
He's not doing anything with that right arm, though, Mitchell. I'm not sure that he's super familiar with the Vaughn flu, unfortunately, because he's got good shoulder lock.
He does have good, yeah. He could just drop that right shoulder right into it.
Mitch has settled into a tight...
And we have some time to work here, too.
He's talking to us here.
You see Erik trying to use his feet to wall walk and generate some space, maybe throw up an arm bar on that near side arm, but Mitchell staying very, very heavy on his head.
Mitchell's in such a good position here. He just needs to settle in and win this round.
Nice elbows. Nice elbows on the inside there from Mitch.
And we see Erik grabbing the inside of his own leg, just trying to keep the space as constrained as possible.
Yeah, not allowing Mitch to really kind of pass here.
This is holding him down.
He's in an Americana now, though. He's got trouble.
Erik,
if he can pack that wrist down low, he's going to try to use his feet to walk up.
He's moving it tighter and tighter to the hip now. If he can drag it to the hip.
He's got it packed relatively low. Very difficult with these big gloves, but he's got a pretty good angle.
It's helping Erik having his feet against the cage. He can use counter pressure there and kind of pop his hips. That'll save him. If he could maybe drag him off the cage a little bit, it might help him with that Americana.
Oh, he's got a good.
It's nasty and it's deep.
Yep, he's escaped it now. Erik was very tough in that position. Did a good job.
He needs to drag his hips off the cage.
But he needs to escape and he needs to do some damage. Mitchell's doing a good job keeping his knee underneath that lower back.
Mitch's top pressure is so heavy for a guy his size.
Beautiful elbows to the body here. He's using those elbows to the body to bring that hand down. That's how he framed up that Americana the first time. It's a beautiful setup.
Both guys looking to exchange here on the bottom and create some space.
Kind of a pseudo buggy position. He's really just trying to use it to control posture. But
I think it's hurting him because it's holding him down here. He needs to get up. Erik Coon needs to make every effort to belly down and get up, even if he risks getting guillotined, even if he risks getting his back taken.
Yeah, because, I mean, right here he's just slaying and taking ground and pound.
And you're losing the round.
10 seconds to go.
This is it, folks. I think Mitchel Vaughn is securing this round, and it's because beautiful job from Mitchel Vaughn there to secure that third round, get the beautiful takedown, and stay there. Settle into the position.
This is going to be a difficult fight to score for the judges because
I agree.
We saw Erik Coon landing very good shots. There were good shots landed at the beginning of that first round. I believe the first round's the swing round.
Now, the way I would score it, if this were my fight to score, I think Mitchel Vaughn took round one. Coon just didn't do enough off his back. He didn't have him in enough danger. Round two, I think you give to Coon just for the control, but it was still close. Yep. He didn't do much there.
And the submission attempt at the end might have been the most meaningful moment of that round as well.
The most definitive moment of the fight, though, was the third round. Mitchel Vaughn's control and his ground and pound. And not only that, the Americana was tight.
I agree, and that Americana was close to being finished, and he was really in the driver's seat pretty much that whole round.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see Mitchel Vaughn get his comeuppance here, but I don't know. You never know how a fight like this is going to be scored.
I was going to say, it's too close to be sure.
And you saw a little bit of that, maybe a little bit of that rivalry seeping through into that Americana. He's not wanting to tap to that Americana. He was getting through it.
Let's go talk to the winner of this bout.
Fantastic fight from these two.
Yeah,
it delivered.
I knew it was going to deliver for sure. Great fight out of both guys there. And you can see we've yet to, well, here comes Charles now, but I was going to say it took him a little while to get in the ring.
Yeah.
Our judges have come to a decision. A unanimous decision.
2-1.
For your winner, out of the blue corner, Erik the Goon.
Let's see if there's going to be any sportsmanship or, well.
Oh, hold on. Money Mitchell, I'm sorry. Money Mitchell, I'm sorry about that. The winner, Money Mitchell, out of your blue
we
corner.
See a little bit of respect there. After a tough fight
Ladies
like that,
and
it's impossible to
gentlemen,
not have respect.
give it up for your winner, Mitchel Vaughn.
He'll be back.
Now, I have to imagine that this is a very sweet moment. This was a match where there was a ton of bad blood. You guys do not like each other. Erik talked a lot of trash coming into this fight. And I know you didn't like it, so I'm going to give the floor to you. What do you got to say about it?
I knew that I was the underdog coming into this, and that just pushed me to train harder. I had to sacrifice being away from my family, and I worked my ass off, and I fucking deserved it.
So, wrestling, that was the key to this fight, your grappling. He came out, he landed some really hard shots in the first round. I know you felt them, we could see it. but that takedown saved you. It secured the first round. He might have taken the second, but man, the third, you sealed the deal. Talk me through it. Did you know you'd done enough to win this?
I knew I had the wrestling. I knew the striking would be close. He had a karate background, but I have good kickboxing. I just went out there and I worked, and I have heart, and I showed it.
In a fight like this, I'm going to give you the last word because this is a huge moment for you. The biggest win of your career, and it has to be a sweet victory. So tell the people, how does it feel?
It feels great. Erik said that Preston Starchin could spark me next. I want to see that. Let's fucking make it happen. 135.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Mitchel Vaughn.